Hello everyone, how you doing? And welcome back to Skye and Evan in the morning. And today we're talking about an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Again, last week we did that. And this week we're talking about Knock at the Cabin. Is 2023 movie, I think.
Yeah, I was a little surprised, but when I saw that, but it's relatively recent, so
Mhm.
I thought it was 2022 but I think that was old, so they were around the same time, funnily enough.
Yeah, Old I think was 2021. Old is oh I that is the first M. Night movie I saw. It's the worst movie I've seen in my life. But
Well, it's I'm pretty sure this is after the fact, so like,
yeah.
what did you think in comparison to? Because that's what you said, like, old is like the worst thing ever. So
Well, that's the thing. I've seen now three M Night movies. I saw Old, which was like awful. Then I saw Unbreakable, which was pretty good. And then I saw this, which I also thought was pretty good. Oh yeah, actually I saw Trap before I saw Unbreakable. So
yeah,
I've seen four. Actually, I've seen three good M Night movies and one bad. So that's
it's funny. He's been like kind of on the track. He's been like releasing a movie a year, all but so.
yeah. And yeah, I like this movie. I know you didn't like it as much as I did, but I generally thought it was a pretty well made movie.
Yeah, honestly, so did I. I always laugh at that. I gave it a saying that probably because I gave it like a 4 out of 10 on Letterboxd. But I'm like I always laugh because I'm like I people are like a 4 or 5. I'm like I think that's a really I think that's a reasonable rating personally. I don't like think that's like a condemnable like awful movie. There were just some things that stood out to me, particularly like the ending and the actual execution of the plot. I was kind of mentioning that there's like no twist, but I almost wish there was, I almost wish there was something they did to subvert the story or subvert the premise, and I just don't think they really did that.
Well, yeah, that is one of the things that annoy me with this movie, I guess. It's that like I kept thinking, "Ooh, it's cool like they have this mystery of whether or not what this everything is real and they don't have access to their phones, like they can't leave the cabin." So, it is interesting to think like maybe they're just tricking them. But then at the end they just confirm that everything they said is true. It is kind of underwhelming. I think it would be cool to
Yeah.
keep the mystery.
Well, not to mention, yeah, especially since it's clearly meant to be some form of like an examination of faith. Like I'm surprised that they seemingly confirm everything and they're just
Mhm.
like, yeah, planes are actually like falling from the sky, like you can like see it from the cabin, like lightning is fucking igniting. I'm like
Well,
the
that's what
world
I
seems
thought,
to be
right?
ending.
Because when Dave Bautista's like, "Yo, after I die, you only have a few minutes," I was like, "No, you should be like he dies and then that's it. The world's done." Because then they have to take a leap of faith. It's like either we kill one of us or Dave Bautista dies, and if he dies, then the world's done. Having a few minutes is like kind of like against the point because then it's like, oh, we can see that it's all real. We can see all the thunder and the fire, and the forest and everything. Like I that felt a little disappointing to me.
Yeah, it's one of those things like that almost comes down to like rewriting the entire story. But I'm like, I don't know if they wanted to just kill the horsemen individually, but I almost feel like them getting picked off and like escape attempts might have made for a more interesting idea. Like if they died like almost of circumstances just by like them trying to leave and that like almost forced their hand. Like I because the premise of this movie, if you've seen the trailers, is just like four people break into a house and then they say that like they need the three people that are at the house. There's like a family and they need them to choose one of them to sacrifice to prevent the apocalypse. And it's
Mm.
like basically that's presented and then that just happens. They argue the movie, they kill their own, and then in the end one of them sacrifices themselves and then that's the end of the movie. It's like so it's like it's just weird that they don't really do anything to try to subvert the premise or subvert what's set up. It just kind of happens and then
And they set
that's
it up a little, I guess, with Redmond to be like, oh shit, he actually was in a bar fight with them before. Uh,
well
and I was like, ooh. And then because after that, the four. well, the three horsemen that are still alive, they start like kind of questioning themselves, and I thought, ooh, that's cool. They don't even know for
Yeah.
sure. But then they kind of just dropped that, and the reason why he wasn't a fight was because he was the he represented malice. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I haven't read the book. This is one of the reasons why I always feel like reading the book before watching the movie. But spoiler alert, I'm going off of Amanda the Jedi's word on this one, but apparently the ending is different in the book. In the book, for one, you just have the advantage of being able to be inside of the villain's head, so you learn a little bit more about them. But apparently, in the ending, um, there is a struggle for the gun, and Wen actually gets killed. They're like
Mm.
the same kind of a thing happens where there's a fight for the gun, and in that the gun goes off, and she accidentally gets killed. And they're like, it's one of those things where it's like it doesn't count, like it wasn't like a choice, it wasn't like a sacrifice. So after that, the characters grapple with like if one of them will kill the other, and then they're saved by one of the horsemen who has like a change of heart. Basically, she she still believes the world's going to end. She still thinks everything will go down the way it does, but she just the sense of like this is wrong is enough to push her to like fight through anyway. And I I think that's a little bit more interesting. I like there's a little bit more there to chew on in terms of like theme and the idea of faith, especially because like this is like the four horsemen of the apocalypse. We said like horsemen, but it's like that's just what the easiest thing to call them. Like four horsemen of the apocalypse. Like there's like the number seven apparently is important in the book. It's like there's three of them. They got to sacrifice one of themselves. It's like oh, like in the it's like
Mm.
it's obvious what they're doing, but they're I just don't think they're saying a lot that's interesting, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it was kind of like when I got to the end of the movie, I was like, I don't really know what point this movie is making. Um, because it's just like, yeah, this family really loves each other, and it's sad that they had to sacrifice one of themselves to save the entire world, but they did. And they still like, it's not like their love faded or something. I was like, yeah, that's cool, but like, what is like the point? You know, and what kind of a movie do you think? Oh, that's what this movie wants me to think. I don't really know. I think it's just like a tragic tale of this one family, which I think is interesting and fun to watch. Which is why I said I quite like this movie. But it's not like it has anything too interesting to say. It's not doing anything too new, I guess.
Yeah, it's because like let's talk about the ending. The ending basically is just like the guy. Oh, by the way, another thing that Amanda the Jedi mentioned in her video is apparently the concussion. Like it it it, it has some unreliable narrator shit going on in the book where you like wonder if like things he's thinking or things he's seeing are real. And there's like that figure in the movie that he
Hmm.
sees in the light, and then that seemingly plays into his decision. And that's what I think they might be going for. They might be trying to go for like some notion of faith versus realism or something like that because he has faith based on what he's seen, but I don't. For one, it comes to the point that it's all but like confirmed what's happening, and at that point, it almost isn't faith. Again, that's why like not showing that explicitly might have been a better idea because
Hmm.
you know you can always question if it was all real or if it was all coincidental
Yeah, that's what I
because
liked
you
about
can
the idea of them being in a cabin, because they wouldn't be able to confirm this shit, like for real, and that's what's so cool. So like
yeah.
them doing that, but then at the end actually confirming it was disappointing. But it is interesting because like Andrew was definitely the more, like that, like extremely skeptical one, and Eric was the one that actually believed. I mean, there's the scene when they were at the orphanage where Andrew says, "I'm not gonna judge you if you start praying," which I thought was a nice touch. Um, and so
Yeah.
like it shows that he is a more spiritual person, and obviously he's the one who buys into what they're saying earlier on, and then he sees the figure. So there's something interesting there. Um, I don't know.
I'm just not sure what him like sacrificing himself like the message there is it that like it is good to sacrifice yourself for people and like and then it's worth it because what they imply there, they do the whole arrival thing where they're like, I see our daughter, like she's happy, like she's found the woman that she or the person that she loves, and it's just like what I okay. I'm like you think things are gonna work out well with your daughter and your husband, and you're just like just it's worth it. It's worth dying for that. I'm like I don't know. I sort of, but I just it's one of those things I wish that there'd been a clearer idea because like the ending with like Boogie Shoes being on the radio or whatever, like what are they saying there? Like that's the song they listen to together, and it's like
Yeah, like
so.
that scene is just shows to me like, oh yeah, isn't this tragic? Which yeah, it is, but it's not really saying anything more than that. Like I agree, it's tragic, it's sad, but
But that's it. It's just sad. It's supposed to be like, well,
it's how it's the kind of the takeaway I got from this movie. Yeah, it's just like, man, isn't this story tragic? What if this actually happened? It's like, yeah, that is pretty tragic. It's what I'm saying. Like, it's a fairly like it's a movie that is not doing too much in terms of like themes, but in terms of the story, it is
well,
enjoyable and like it
it
is a
it
fairly
is
well done
though.
story.
Again, like the blatant like Christian parallels, like the biblical like similarities, like they're and they say the four horsemen of the apocalypse. So it's like it's like there and there's tons of sacrifice in the Bible, but I just and it's not like like they needed to be more like they adapted the Bible better than anything. But I'm just saying, I I, I don't know what like the point is with it. Basically, again, that's why like I can't like thematically connect it because I'm like I get what happens in the story. I just don't understand. They hint at greater meaning, and I think that's one of the reasons why people want Shyamalan movies to have a twist. Is usually they hint at like
The
being a
meaning.
part of something bigger, or
Hmm.
being more interesting, and they're like, let's have something subvert it. But it's that thing where it's like they're really this is one of the least twist-y movies I've seen. Like the only thing that threw me for a loop in the entire movie was the goofy ass bathroom scene with the tiny little window. I'm like, guys, there there is no. I don't know if you couldn't afford a bigger window, but I'm like, there's no way that Dave Bautista is fitting through that.
Well, to be fair, he didn't actually go out there, so
Yeah, I just found it funny that the character even like entertained the notion that he would do that. I'm like, okay.
well, the thing is, I think that scene is actually done pretty well. It's like obviously he wouldn't have, but then and he saw the rustling in the with the curtains, and then he shoots, and
Yeah, and he shoot.
he doesn't see anything. So it's like, well, then I guess it's fine, but I'm still gonna check. And then he lunges at him. So it's like that kind of just follows. Like,
Yeah, I don't have the worst. Like I'm just my big thing in that scene was I was like, dude, you should be able to see. And I'm sorry, just on a plot level, like the gun kind of bothered me. They didn't go for it when when the main guy like fell into his head and was like, oh god damn it, dude. I know he's your husband, but it's like you got your daughter, like get the gun. But I don't know. It's one of those things. It's not they for most of the movie they're just tied and they're like they don't have the chance for that type to be a thing. So, which I like actually. I like that most of it like follows the dialogue. But
hmm
well, another example that's actually really funny is when escaping. They just don't do anything with that. It's a non-starter.
yeah,
She makes it like 50 yards and then she's just caught, and it's like that's it. It's like you're just not gonna do anything. It's like okay.
guess so. Yeah.
It's weird because I think the movie is perfectly serviceable, but it like I'm almost like it's just plain. It feels really plain and just like not much to take away from. I
Yeah.
don't really yeah.
I'm on the exact same boat as you. I just enjoyed it more than you, I guess. But like, I think we have the same takeaway. It's not like a movie that is doing too much interesting. Like it is just like a very straightforward story. It is it's like I said, it does what it says on the tin. Hey, you kill
Yeah.
one of your family and you save the world, and then they do at the end they save the world. And that is what happens. I just like I found it an enjoyable experience despite like the lack of like something too meaningful. Like I don't know. This
Yeah.
feels like it would be an amazing movie if it was done by like Ari Aster or something. Like it has that kind of like vibe, but it being just like fairly plain. It's just I don't know, and it was weird because I got to the end of the movie and I was just thinking, man, you know what? This feels like a movie made by the person who made Unbreakable, and I don't know how to explain it, but I get similar vibes, and
Oh yeah, he's a very distinct filmmaker, Shyamalan. You can
yeah,
usually tell when you're watching one of his movies, even if it's a bad one.
yeah,
So
it's just weird. Like I don't know, I enjoyed it, but it's not too too interesting in terms of his movies. Probably the least interesting I've seen. Because old is interesting despite it being garbage. So
well, yeah, that I mean that I think is the thing that frustrates me because like uh, you can describe Shyamalan a lot of ways. Like he's a very like controversial filmmaker, but the one thing that I would not describe him as is plain.
yeah.
And I'm like, this is his most plain
Mm-hmm.
movie that I've seen from him so far, and
And it does
it's
kind of have a premise that you'd think he would actually do really interestingly, but
yeah, and that's my thing is that it's exactly what you said. It does what it says on the tin. Like if you've seen the trailers of like that is basically the story. They
mm-hmm.
don't really subvert it. It's just very straightforward, like thriller slash tragedy. That's basically the movie, and I'm like, I it's not too much like offensive about it as far as I'm concerned. It's just one of those things where you got to know that's basically what you're getting into. So
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of feels like maybe a few more drafts you could have done something really cool with this movie. As it stands, it's fairly plain.
yeah. Well, honestly, I am curious to read the book now. I don't know. I'm wondering. I'm wondering if the ending is better, and I'm wondering like if maybe they do a little because I get it. It might be one of those stories where it's like you can do so much being in the characters' heads, you know, or like maybe dialogue's a little bit more interesting when you can back and forth with something like that. Like because a lot of the movies, them just like kind of in the cabin, just arguing and like you need to make a choice, and it's like maybe there's a little more that to chew on in the book. Like I'm curious about that, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I also thought it was a really well shot movie. I thought cinematography was pretty great.
Yeah, that's pretty much never lacking in Shyamalan. And yeah, I think the use of close-ups, I don't know what it is. There's something like a little off. Like that opening scene with Leonard is like really good, but
Oh
just the
yeah,
way they
and
shoot
they
the
shoot with the
dialogue.
Dutch angles and they're never matching
Yeah.
the same tilt. It's all like, oh, that's fucking creepy.
Yeah. I love that Shyamalan uses a lot of people don't like Dutch tilts. He uses them every now and again, and I love it.
Yeah,
It's great.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Would you recommend this movie?
Honestly, I would. It's funny, like because I gave it a pretty low rating on Letterboxd, but it's like it, it's honestly a thriller, and I'm like again, I called it plain. I'm like, it's not really all that scary as far as I'm concerned. It's not like all that thrilling, and it's not that like it doesn't exactly leave you with something that's like will blow you away. But if you're just looking for like an interesting thriller with interesting performances and interesting ideas, I'm like, it's a pretty good movie. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I would agree with that. I just generally found it very enjoyable to watch. The acting is quite good. And I mean Dave Bautista, I really like him. People,
Yeah, stand out,
yeah,
honestly. Like show stealer, really good, just straight up starring role. And I'm like, you've got it, man. You got
yeah,
the chops.
yeah. Because like people say like the fucking wrestler turned to a actor thing with The Rock and everything, but Dave Bautista is actually a good actor. It's kind of pretty. I mean, John Cena is as well. I mean, we've seen that in
Well, see, yeah,
Peacemaker. It's
it's so. Let's not like Dwayne Johnson. Like he's got an ego thing, but like he's given good performances before. I think all three of them are, but I'm like Batista is the one who's like I think showed himself like the best actor because I
it
genuinely do
seems like
think John Cena
he.
gives like a good performance as an actor. So.
Yeah, I think the thing with the Dave Bautista is that he's actually really interested in filmmaking, and John Cena is more a like a star kind of person. Like he's doing these
Yeah,
big like franchise things like Peacemaker is Suicide Squad, you know. Whereas
Very character
yeah,
actor, very like, again, similar to Dwayne Johnson's thing.
yeah,
Like they're typecast as like the big tough guy who like
yeah,
kind of plays themselves.
and Dave Bautista in this, he could be like a scrawny kid, but he would still fit the part. How big he is doesn't matter to the part, and that's kind of what's cool because he's just really good in it. So this and Dune, it's like you're a good actor, man. Good job.
Yeah, and Blade Runner 2049. Yeah, he's been in a lot.
Yeah,
He's shown himself like versatile.
yeah. But yeah, I would recommend this movie too. I thought it was fairly enjoyable. Not too much to chew on, but not a bad movie at all. And yeah, with that, Evan, I think it is time for you to recommend something.
Absolutely. Let me check my list again. Almost cut off with before. Yeah, I know what I'm gonna recommend. I'm gonna recommend a classic. You went with one that neither of us had seen for this one. So I'm gonna go with another one that I don't think you've seen. Singing in the Rain.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
never seen Singing in the Rain. Have you seen it?
Me neither. It's like those movies that
Yeah.
every like cinephile's like aspiring filmmaker has to watch at some point. But
Yeah, it's one of those like classic like film history things
yeah,
where it's like you usually watch that in like a film
film
class or
class. Yeah.
something, but if like I just never bothered. It's an all-time classic and I've always meant to see it, so let's go with that.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right. So classic musical then. Gotta love me a musical. Um,
Yes, indeed.
well, with that then, folks, we'll catch you next week for Singing in the Rain. And
Yes, indeed.
yeah, thank you very much for watching. And we'll catch you next week. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.